Good morning, everyone. You're welcome to Passion in Friends Africa. Beautiful day. Today we have a topic, the benefits of fasting. And by and large, we're going to discuss this in three parts. In the first part, we're going to discuss what fasting does to the body. We are going to say also what fasting does to the mind, that is the brain. And finally, we're going to talk about the spiritual benefits of fasting. Fasting is abstinence from food. We've been believing throughout our lives that food is life. So each and every chance man gets, they spend their money eating. Each and every time a person gets an opportunity, they end up eating or getting opportunity to have a meal. Now we are going to look at life from a different perspective. That when you deny food to the body, does the body burn out all the food that is given to it, or do we end up having some food which is then stored in our body? And you can imagine when you store food in a granary, especially wet cooked food, when you store it in a granary, what happens? It rots. When you take cabbages and you keep them in your bedroom and you store them for 2 weeks after you have cut them out from their natural state of existence, what happens? It rots. When you take a live goat, kill it, stash its head somewhere, take the body and keep it in your bedroom, what happens? It rots. So we step by step, first of all, we're going to analyze how does the food get stored in our body. The food gets stored in our body in 3 points. In the main point is the stomach. Whatever we eat goes to our stomach, gets digested, but some of them remains as slur. And the continuous remaining of food as slur becomes an impediment to us. It slows down our bodies, it slows down the intestines, and it is a cause of problem, which need to be addressed on its own. The second store of our body is in the organ systems. The liver naturally becomes a repository of food. It becomes a store of food in form of fat, and that's a wonderful thing. It's a natural way through which human being was organized, or let's say us living things were organized, that our body becomes a repository, as storage, so that in the moments of scarcity, then we get food from our body. But the limitation with that is that if we do not draw sufficiently from that storage and we keep on storing, then it becomes a burden to the body which is storing it. And that's what happens to our heart, our livers. The liver gets slowed down, the heart on its side has oil surroundings and oil deposits, and that has the serious health effects. So let's just start with what fasting does, first of all, to human brain, so that we move step by step. It says the Alzheimer's disease and Parkinson's disease are both diseases which are caused by slowness of the brains, and so on. Fasting reduces that slowness, reduction on intake of food reduces that slowness. We become quicker, in responding, and that's a good thing. Number 2 is recovery from stress. When we ingest so much food, interestingly, we end up being stressed mentally. But if you start a fast period, during the first few days of the fast, there is the reduction, the feeling of nothingness, the reduction of stress, and almost a change on your values. By the way, the first day of the fast is when you'll have that feeling of I must feed. What happens? Because the body continuously asks for more food. But the moment you get to the second day and to the third day, there's that feeling of, so I can do without food for so many hours, and it becomes even a surprise to you. It's like an abstinence of any type. Abstinence of smoking has such effect. Abstinence and drinking has such effect, especially if you had already used it for some certain period of time. The abstinence itself, the fact that you can control that abstinence, gives you a new confidence and reduces your stress levels. The third one is that incidentally, it boosts proteins production. The long periods of fast makes your body to increase production of proteins, and finally bolsters the fortitude of synapses in the brain. Another item on that is that it improves in the repair of DNAs. Your DNAs gets damaged over a period of time, but during those periods of fast, during those periods of abstinence of food, during those period of limited intake of water and total abstinence of food, the repair starts. Why? Because the old structures of cells, the old components of cells which are old, get destroyed and shedded off, and they get replaced with new ones. And that's straightforward. Then there is the issue of reducing cancer and cardiovascular diseases. Risk of cancer has been known to be reduced substantially by abstinence from food. Somebody said cancer actually lives on sugar. So anytime we withdraw sugar, from your bloodstream, even the cancer cells, they are almost dead. They would go. Then it goes on to say that it also, in the similar way, stops or prevents diabetes. So diabetic condition, when you withdraw food, also that we are talking of, relies on sugar. Also the diabetes relies on oversupply of sugar. Withdraw that sugar and the disease symptoms gradually go away. Then we go to, what are the effects of fasting on the body? What are the effects on the fasting on the body? The first item is that on the physical body, the blood sugar, the levels come almost to very, very, very low levels when the first day of the fasting. And if you are familiar with the first experience of fasting, is that on the first stage you will have numerous headaches and general body tiredness. But after that time passes, then you will find again new energy coming to you. It's because we always presume that we need that continuous intake of sugar in order to restore energy, but that is really not the truth. The very moment when the body realizes that it cannot get it from the normal point of getting it from the stomach because you have not delivered the new fresh supplies, it will just go back to your body and get for you new supplies from the bloodstream and from the excess deposits of sugar and salt and everything, which are always in the body, but it's ignored because it's used to picking it from one source. That's always the character of habit that you are talking of. When something becomes easy to perform, it becomes a pressure to perform. And if it's a pressure to perform, it's easy to perform it always, even to our subconscious mind. That's the underlying principle. So the best way to control that is put a break, alter the thinking, so that the supply is not always just from the new fresh supplies. That is what causes obesity. You find somebody constantly always thinking of, when he wants energy, he thinks of ingesting new sources from food, new sources from new food, new sources of energy from new food. Yet the body itself has deposited sufficient amount of energy, of sugar and everything to enable it run for a period of time and for long. Then we go to the benefit of the digestive parts, because you say in essence, how does the digestive part of the body benefit when it's during the period of fasting? The digestive part now gets a total relief. You can imagine from morning to evening, our body has the digestive part component of the body, whether it's the intestines, have been relieved totally of continuously digesting food, and also the challenge of ingestion of keeping food which is already excess, and therefore, like we are describing, where does the excess food go? Where does the excess material go? If you take a goat, you keep it somewhere, it will rot and start sinking over a period of time. Even though there is the body's natural elimination of what is not needed, that system fails when there is constant resupply of new ones and beyond the elimination rate. You can come again. We human beings are always monitored, are always familiar to ingest food or eject substance from their stomachs only by periodical excretion to the toilet, which is done probably once or 2 times in a day. So look at a scenario where constantly new fresh supplies are coming, and the body is familiar only with ejecting it, or ejecting, excreting whatever it does not need after every period of every 24 hours. So what happens is that the period in between, that food remains in the body when it's no longer needed and applicable, and that is a root cause of disease, not only on the stomach of the body, but for the entire physiology of the body. So we go finally to body repairs and what it does, and detoxing. Detoxing simply means cleansing, and we are saying when you are doing fast, when you're doing a period of fast, there is the general cleansing of the body. There's the general renewal, rebirth of the body, because of our first description that we say that there is a tendency for the old cells to get destroyed during the fast. The ones which are totally inefficient, the ones which totally had no reason to hang around except that there was oversupply of food, so it would ingest, they would get from the new sources. The very moment that source has been stopped, the old ones will die and become ejected from the body in various through various ways, which is normally described in our normal biology. But the essential point is that as they get destroyed and eliminated, on the other hand, new cells get regenerated, because we remember on the body is such that whenever you lose one cell, another one immediately is replaced. The replacement will not come forth if the old degenerated one has not been displaced. But the very moment the old one leaves the stage, the new cells come into the picture. So that process is done efficiently and continuously only through the process of fasting. When somebody is fasting, or when one is fasting, it cleanses the body in that direction. With fasting and breath, we agreed that the stomach has several responsibilities, and the stomach, and also more so the diaphragm, has several responsibilities. But human beings should, as a philosophy, keep 1/3 of the stomach or the diaphragm for food, 1/3 for water, and 1/3 for air, for breathing. So we find that people who constantly ingest food constantly end up now having difficulty in breathing, in that the stomach and the diaphragm is so full and so occupied with food that there is no space for breathing, there is no space for taking water, and they're just staying in a solid, unacceptable state. And what are the negative effects of that? The negative effects of that is that now there is no longer any balance on the intake of the food, because just like the vehicle, when for a vehicle to run, not only does it need fuel, it also needs air. You've always seen the various ventilators for the vehicle. It needs fuel, it also needs air. And that, sorry for that. And that balance for air and fuel is so strong that when one is lacking, you will just hear it. A mechanic will just tell you, yes, this is the cause of that. Similarly, therefore, on the instance of the body, the fast gives opportunity for us to review our whole balance of what goes through the body, and that's a very good thing, because it's like an overhaul for a vehicle. It cleans out the old ones and allows you now to change oil, change gas, change everything, change the CCs, the engine oils and everything, so that the gear oil, so that you have a new opportunity to now again go for the original proportions and say, what do I need for this component? What do I need for that component? And that can only be done by fasts. So, in summary, what are we talking about? That there are 3 types of fastings. There is the full fast. That means that you reject all forms of food except together with water. That is total fast. People have talked of it. Total fast cannot run for beyond 18 days. Otherwise, somebody would lose their lives. Even before then, we are not sure as to what would justify such long periods of self-denial or self-restraint from normal foods and from normal whatever. The second one, which is familiar, is the one of the Muslim fast, which we end up taking water. We do not take solid food, but only in the day. For 12 hours, we don't take any food, to give the system the opportunity to readjust itself. But at the end of every 12 hours, you have the opportunity to start with light meals, increase it to bigger meals, on the understanding that again, from sunlight up to sunset, there's a fast for a period of 1 whole month or 30 days. That also is a type of fast, a level of itself, which one may consider if it's working well. Then there's the third fast of the standard working person, and this can be done only by in one way, by just choosing one day of the week. Say, for example, take it on Mondays or Fridays, on Tuesdays or to Thursdays, on Wednesdays to Saturdays, isolated days of the week, and we say on this day and on this day there'll be no only liquids in the body, no ingestion of solid foods from this time to this time, and that still serves its purpose. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that one, we are saying our journey towards self-transformation will, like we said at the beginning, will cover various topics. But the desired end is that it will work towards our improvement and will enable us evolve in a gradual and properly graduated and a confident way, therefore, rather than the ordinary way of gambling for the best opportunity and so on. So, in summary, what are the spiritual benefits? We do not want to dwell on the spiritual benefits now, but only to say, as a result of, first of all, enhanced self-discipline, there is also spiritual self-discipline, which comes with abstinence. So, when that happens, it's a movement from one direction to a new point, and that's a good thing. Self-abstinence creates perseverance and creates, therefore, a strong willpower. That's a positive thing. The second thing is that it makes us appreciate true value of life. It's very difficult when you have to rely on not only 3 major meals, but 3 major meals per day, and at 10 o'clock you have to get a snack. When somebody convinces you that life is more than food, it becomes very difficult. we end up now over relying on external food as the source of sustenance. The very moment we start moving away from food and realizing that we can still perform, that life still has meaning without sitting on a table to eat, then our needs shifts. Like you're talking of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It starts with the bottom one, which is the physiological, goes to safety, goes to love and belonging, that means social, goes to esteem, then goes to self-actualization. So the very moment you move physiological needs, the food, water, and everything, and say, hey, I didn't know that self-actualization can still stand on its own when the ingestion of food and water is not part of the equation. The very moment you are at that level, you also move yourself mentally to a different trim, to a way of now looking at the things in a different way. So it's a very important spiritual step that we should continuously take, because as we take it, it's like testing your body beyond limits. By the way, at a personal level, I do jogging, I do running every day. I do running every day for 30 minutes, running every day for 30 minutes. Every morning, the first thing I do is that I wake up from the bed and start running. And I do running around for 30 minutes on the understanding that when it comes to weekends, when there's now substantial time, and when it comes to weekends where there is now sufficient company, I run sometimes for 3 hours, non-stop. Why? To improve, number one, my physiology, to eliminate unnecessary cells and unnecessary deposits of fluids on my body, and finally to increase my willpower towards doing good. And what has it done to me? It has kept me healthy. It has reduced my stress levels. I won't complain about that, because stress levels, I've lived sometimes in a very stressful environment, and the act of running, or the act of keeping myself physically fit, the task of letting myself